I have the big man. Just finished his panel live here in Rio. We're just outside the main arena getting ready for the grand final. But you've just done the big reveal.
Yes, we did.
The news, Lions, quarantine for the moment. Skins are here, the $1 million is here.
$1 million and counting. It's going to go up from here.
Good to tell people all that news, right?
Yeah,
I think you've been like, I want to tell them.
Yeah, it's funny doing these panels because we work on them for 3 weeks or so, or even longer sometimes, like a month and a half, just sort of getting the message, fine-tuning it, making sure all the details, all of our wording is like locked down and 100% good. So it's good to finally actually bring it out to the fans.
And the devs too, right?
Yeah,
like,
and the devs,
finally you can tell people what I've been making.
Yeah, I mean, it's me just delivering the message, but these guys have been working on the game for months at a time, and like we said, for Nomad, took her over a year to get released. So it's kind of crazy to be working on one thing for a year.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting to use them. It's going to be so much fun with Nomad. Justin, of course, is in community management for Ubi, specifically to Siege, along with Craig and a few others as well. So I want to ask you a little bit about that because I think it's something that people might be interested in as gaming gets bigger, as esports gets bigger, but not exclusively to esports. Jobs in games, some of the things I try and highlight here on my channel. So your life, for some people I guess, is a bit of Twitter and maybe TweetDeck when you're feeling spicy.
Yeah, a little spicy.
Yeah, is that it? Did we just wrap this up now?
Yeah, no,
a little bit more.
Actually, you missed the part about cat memes and and GIFs, and it's just really cat memes and GIFs. That's all I do.
So that's it. Yeah. So what's it really like? What's it really like?
It's honestly, it's a lot of listening, right? Good community management or community development is all about listening to the community, listening to the developers, listening to pro players, and a lot of times, the focus of our job is on the communication side. So, what is the message that we're putting out to the community? What is the message that we're putting out on social media, on Twitter, on Twitch, on all these different platforms that we use to communicate to all you guys out there. But a lot of it is just us making sure we understand what the issue is.
So I suppose people might not realize the two-way process of it, right? It's not just you acting like some kind of help desk where people are complaining about stuff or making suggestions and you're listening to the community. It's not just outwards from you, it's inwards as well. It's feeding comments to people who need to know about it.
100% just like taking in, understanding what the issue is. Because a lot of times what we do, how it's kind of broken down on our jobs is we have the quantitative and the qualitative. So the qualitative is the feedback.
Where it gets business now.
The qualitative is where we get the feedback from Reddit, from Twitter, all the things that you guys are talking about, and then we match that up with the qualitative data. So the numbers, how much of the percentage is this community talking about this specific topic, and how badly or positively is it impacting the game. And so those are the two things that we really use to measure every kind of topic that is going on in the community.
That's basically sort of signal to noise management, right? That's like how do we get the stuff we need to act upon from the complaints.
And sort of filter it out as well. So like if there is an issue that someone in the company or that someone on my team thinks is a big issue, we can use those kinds of ways of filtering down to the percentage number. So if we think it's a big issue, but actually only less than 1% of the community is talking about it, then how big of an issue it is. And then also that comes down to like the impact. If it's an impact like a game-breaking bug or a crash or a troubled operator like Lion, that's when we can sort of look at the details a little bit closer and be like, okay, maybe this is a higher priority because of this, the level of impact that it actually has on the community.
So without obviously wanting to give anything confidential away, are there clever tools in place at Ubi that's filtering all this stuff? Because there's just so much traffic across all of those platforms you've mentioned. There's no way you're just looking at this, browsing these things and going, oh, they seem to be talking about Lion over here.
Yeah, we have several different tools for listening, one of them being Brandwatch, one of them being Sprinkler. We look at, we have these different tools that measure sentiment and measure community feedback. So those are the things. The most important tools that I use, though, is just my eyes and like my brain. It's really important to just have your finger on the pulse of the community and making sure that you know what's going on, because people are going to come to you to look to you as the people that are supposed to know what's happening and supposed to know that feedback. So that's why it's really important about myself and what Craig does as well.
Is it the kind of job which you never put down? Is it a kind of 24/7 very prevalent kind of job where, I'm not saying you're getting all this directly on your phone, but is it hard to leave it? Is it hard to put it away?
100%. You know, I get messages on Instagram, on Twitter, 24/7. Yeah. And I've always said, especially working on a game like Rainbow Six, I've always said that it's impossible for me to separate myself from my work. And,
so it's not just the technology that makes it prevalent. You actually find it hard to just separate.
I find it hard, and I've had to put checks and balances in place. You know, on particularly rough days, I'll delete my Twitter app from my phone.
Really?
I'll delete my Instagram app from my phone, just because from 9 to 5, I'm looking at all these feedback, and I'm looking at all this stuff, and some days it really does get you emotionally and mentally, and that mental toughness that you actually have to have is hard because I care so much. It's one of those things where I know that I can step away. I know that I can turn my phone off. I know that I can delete this app, but do I want to? And is it going to impact a player's experience in a negative way if I don't have my phone? Right. Because maybe
even though it may not be like that kind of a life or death situation, right?
Yeah, exactly. But maybe all of a sudden there is a surprise issue that has popped up, and we have to deal with it that night.
Oh yeah, when you roll stuff out, that's when you're going to find out pretty urgently. And
exactly.
You need to acting upon.
And so it's a sort of double-edged sword when you have your finger on the pulse of the community. It can be a really positive thing by getting that information quickly to our production team in order to fix the issues rapidly. But then again, it takes its toll mentally, I think, for a while, and it takes its toll, and you have to find ways to separate yourself. You can, whether it just be finding grabbing a drink or going out, going to the park, going for a run, things like that, really just like help me kind of separate myself from my work.
Drink solves problems. Is the takeaway from this. Walk with me, Justin. I want to take you into the arena and see this crazy thing you finished. Let me ask you, if people are thinking of working in community management, what's the sort of skills, what's the sort of thing that you think they need? Because it's obviously a bit more than I like tweeting and I can post GIFs.
Especially after I just talked about the mental stress that I get. No, it's if you want to get into the community, just do it. Right. If you want to get into video games, just do it.
There are opportunities.
There's
to do that,
so many different ways to just get into this field. I recently hosted a masterclass on
a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
And every single attendee of that masterclass, all of them were working in community or in video games in some extent. None of them had a degree in video games.
Yeah, sure.
None of them had a degree in communications. These are people that just followed their passions, and I'm one of them as well. My degree is in environmental science and architecture. I'm a nerdy science guy.
I have an aeronautical engineering degree that I've never used. Never used. But it was relating to games, and it got me into the games industry as a coder a long time ago.
So you just have to do it. You just have to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Justin, and this is the Noisy Mess. Come with us, guys. We're 10 minutes to the final. So Justin, just quickly, just to wrap this up, what does this mean to you? How do you feel looking at that?
It's passion, right? We were just talking about how you have to be passionate to get in this industry. Right here, this is passion in a physical form, where all these people come out, they cheer, they scream. They've been here since 12 o'clock this afternoon. Yesterday, cheering outside. They were here lined up at 10 a.m. Yesterday they were lined up even earlier than that at like 8 a.m. This is the passion that I love seeing, where our community can come together in physical form, in a physical area, come together, be together, and support something that is so beautiful.
Still, early days, right?
Still early days, only our third year.
Yeah. Justin, thank you. Appreciate you taking the time. Give me a little bump. Justin there, and you can find him, of course, on all your favorite social media platforms, because he loves to hear from you, don't you, Justin?
I love it. Follow me at UBJustin, Twitter, Instagram.
And keep following the channel. We've got a final to do.